So, how to calculate and interpret your birth chart. I've given you two links to use, but you can use any free generator of a natal or birth chart that you wish to use. The first one that I'll show you is astro.com. So, when you come into astro.com with the link that I've given to you, you'll go onto this landing page. I recommend that you just use this, the basic chart drawing, which is free. And when you click on this, it will ask you to put in your information. And once you've entered in your information, and I'm just using this as a random one here. Once you've done that, we can then just click on the diagram. It will open up into a new page for us, so it's easier to see. So when you're looking at your chart like this, if you've never looked at a chart before, this one's quite good because it gives you down the side here all the different symbols for the planets. And the planets are what you see around the wheel here. On the outside of the wheel, these are the zodiac signs. And so I'll include a list for you so that you can easily interpret the different symbols, but you just get to know the different symbols and you're probably familiar with your own one. So generally, you know, over here we can see this one is Aries, Taurus, you can't quite see it down here, but Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And so on the outside of the wheel, it's showing the star constellations and moving through them, and that's how it moves through the year. So people born earlier in the year generally will tend to be Capricorn or Aquarius. And people born in December will be Sagittarius. So you will be able to see your, well, you already know your sun sign. This is the sun, the circle with the little dot in the middle there. And so your sun sign, in this case, sun sign is in Capricorn, and that's what it tells us here. But it also tells us what the ascendant is. This is a really important part of your chart. If you've never looked at what your ascendant is or your rising sign, that's here, your ascendant. So this is basically the horizon at the time of being born. And obviously that's where the sun was at the time of being born, and that's where the moon was. So this person was born during the daytime, but their rising sign is this one here, which is Pisces, and this has quite a big influence over you. So have a look at what that means for you. And then down here, we'll see the person, their moon is in Taurus. Okay, so this person has their moon in Taurus. Now, the other way that you can interpret the meanings of where the planets are and where the zodiac signs are the houses, and those are the numbers in the middle here. And so if you're a little bit familiar and you want to have a look at that, then yeah, you can have a look at what it means to have your moon in Taurus in the third house. Okay, Taurus is quite an earthly energy. The third house is all about early learning, for example. These are to do with your life areas and where it will impact you the most. So third house is, yeah, early communication, early learning, siblings, short distance travel, that type of thing comes under the third house. And so the moon is all about our emotions. It's to do with our soul. It's to do with our inner work. Okay. And so that's the first thing, is identifying where is your moon. And then the other things that you can look at to see what are interesting is down here. One of the reasons I quite like this chart, although it looks a little bit complicated at first, as a beginner, you would just look for the blue and the red symbols. And I'll give you a chart as well so you can see what they mean. But basically, you would look for the moon, which is here, and then we can see here that it's square to this symbol here. Okay, which we look up here and see that it's Mercury. Okay, so the moon is square Mercury. It means for this person there might be some challenges in relation to their communication, maybe at an early age. And that's what Mercury can represent: thinking and learning and communication. So maybe some possible block there. And then as we go down, we can see that it is opposite to the North Node. And the other things that we can see, I'd look for the star or the triangle as a beginner. So star and triangle are basically sextile and trine, and these are quite favorable positions. So you can use this table to also help to identify if there's anything interesting in terms of the alignments that you have. So that's how I would look at this. I use Placidus. This system automatically defaults to Placidus house system. So if you prefer to use a different house system, Placidus is one of the most common house systems, together with whole house systems as well. So it depends whether you're already familiar with astrology or not. So please feel free to use whatever one you want. Then the other thing that we can use for free charts, which I quite like, is AstroSeek, astroseek.com. It's an amazing free tool that we can use. And you can see here we can pull our birth chart, which is interesting. And we can also look at our moon size and our phase. So I'll just show you really quickly with the birth chart. And so here, if I just put in, let's just go with this time as an example. And so again, this one has defaulted to Placidus system. And so very similar, you can see here down the side, they have the different symbols for the different planets. There might be slightly some additional asteroids or things that they use in this one as a basic option that the other one maybe didn't have. Like, for example, it's got Lilith here, which is an asteroid. So same thing, I would just, as a beginner, look for, identify your sun. So this person has sun in Capricorn in the 10th house, and their rising sign is Aries, which will always be in the first house. And the moon, they have moon in Libra in the 7th house, okay? Moon in Libra in the 7th house. 7th house is all about relationships, and Libra is all around harmony and balance as well. So yeah, I would imagine that would be a favorable combination. So that's one way that you can, first of all, just use it just to see what your moon sign is and look into this. Then in what I really like about astro.com, AstroSeek, is that they will also tell you the moon sign and phase as well. So you can actually just go into it separately here and put in the details, and it will tell you what moon phase you were born under. And this is pretty accurate because I've used some other sites and it's not accurate at all. I believe that this one is very, very accurate. So yeah, so you can also see here, it will tell me third quarter moon, and any of these things you can click on and it will actually give you more information here and tell you a little bit more about it and what it means. Moon in Libra, moon in 7th house, for example. So that's one other thing that you can do. And the other thing is that you can also look at, when you're looking at your birth chart, to see whether it has it on here or not. No, so you'd have to go into a transit chart. So here you can choose transit chart, and you would put in your birth details, and then it will ask you for what transit you want. So for example, I can look at today, and I'll just quickly show you. So let's use the same one as before. So imagine that I was born in Brisbane, and now I am, let's just say I'm in Perth. And this is today's time. And it is now 3 o'clock, and calculate transit. And what this will do now is it will show us in the inside wheel, it will show the birth chart, which we saw before, the sun in Capricorn and the moon in Libra in the 7th house. But what it will also do now on the outside, it will show us the transits. So right now, you can look around to see where the moon is, and we can see the moon is down here, and it's in Cancer, and it's currently transiting my 4th house, my natal 4th house, okay? So it's quite interesting sometimes just to see whereabouts the moon is in your birth chart. Now, if for some reason you don't have access to that, the other thing that you can do is, let me see where I was before. In some of my sessions that I do, I'll say to you, okay, today the moon is in this degree. And so, for example, today I might be saying, if it was today that I was doing the thing, I'd be saying, okay, so now look, today the moon is in, what was it, 27? No, 15 degrees, 15 degrees of Cancer. And so each of these represent 5 degrees. There's normally 30 degrees here. And so 15 degrees is about halfway. Okay, so 15 degrees of Cancer. So this is where the moon currently is in my birth chart. Okay, so I just look for the Cancer sign. Okay, and so often you'll hear me say, okay, look for where this zodiac sign is in your natal chart, and that tells you where the moon is right now. Okay. So yeah, they're the main things that you can do, just just even as a beginner level, to start to explore the moon in connection to your birth chart, and also in connection to where it's transiting in the sky at the moment as well. So hopefully that was useful for you. And if you have any other questions, then feel free to let me know. Bye for now.